fighting the rebels in such an inefficient way did not also bring desired results. Here, this is the key of the impasse, of the vicious cycle that Turkey finds in it. Inefficient arming of the rebels. So, Turkey's limited military and logistic support to Syrian rebels is not sufficient by its nature to make them strong enough to topple the regime. So by giving them Kalashnikovs, RPGs, or Big C's machine guns, etc., or some explosive mines and mortars, these people who are divided, very shattered, divided, and lacking a centralized leadership cannot topple the regime. But these arms can only create a conflict in which the regime will retaliate by using its heavy armament, guns, tanks, aviation, helicopter gunship, etc., and bombs. And this is how the situation explains how the northern part of Syria, close to the border zone of Turkey, is now actually the most strong, bed of the armed uprising. It's because of Turkish support. It is stronger in the north than its presence here in the south. Again, this limited support causes more armed conflict with no immediate winners and losers, but it brings more death and destruction, hence increases the number of Syrian civilians in the Turkish camps. And I'm moving to the other part of the vicious cycle. The number of Syrian refugees in the Turkish camps has been growing, and there is no substantial foreign aid coming for these asylum seekers from abroad, as I repeat, because of Turkey's policy of not being keen to hand over the management of these camps to UNHCR. And as a result, the financial burden of camps over Turkey's shoulders grows, and there is no possible way to reverse down this trend inside, of course. The last, let me assess also the political situation. Everything started with the creation of the Syrian National Council in August 2011. And the last and perhaps the most serious blow in diplomatic and political terms came from Washington, paradoxically. And the SNC was sidelined by Washington, D.C., and a new form, new structure of opposition movement has been founded in Qatar, and it will be based in Cairo. And ownership, so-called ownership, political ownership of the opposition now evaded from the hands of Ankara, and now is at the hands of Egypt, because the SNC was considered as was not enough representative and efficient. We know the debate. I should not repeat and take your time. Well, I think at the end of the day, Turkey finds itself way in front of everybody else in the Syrian front, being wide open to criticism and retaliation. And there is one, another aspect of it is the Kurdish question. Very surprisingly, Turkey did not anticipate before taking the initiative to overthrow the regime, did not anticipate the ramifications of its Kurdish problem on itself. And the Turkish question of Turkey is the biggest headache for the country. In other words, it's Achilles' heel. And this is really, I repeat, very surprising why Turkey's foreign policy makers did ignore to such degree the fallout of such policies, such endeavorism, such even extremism in the Middle East. Because in the past, in the 80s, in the 90s, Father Assad waged a zero-cost war on Turkey by supporting the PKK, by harboring its leader, by giving them some logistical support, by arming them, by training them. And this is a major mistake, I think. Well, to summarize, Turkey's foreign policy makers' predictions about the situation were all wrong. Turkey's actual Syrian impasse is the bitter consequence of the wrong prognosis and wrong choices made by Turkish foreign policy makers. Without exception, at the end of the day, it is proven by facts that all predictions were wrong. For example, they predicted an early fall of the regime, and they behaved as if the regime would fall in months, if not in weeks. Okay?